of the time when people are talking about Chabad, they refer to Chabad and Chassidim. But rarely do they merge the two. Rarely does someone say Chabad and Satire in the same sentence, or Babav and Chabad. It's not like that. Chabad is not chassidishe. Chabad is chassidic, and it's a big difference. And a lot of Chabadniks don't realize this, and they get offended by people separating them. And I think it's complimentary, because usually when people are talking about Chassidim and the Charedim, they're usually, unfortunately, talking about it in a negative light. Oh, did you hear what happened in Israel? The Charedim are rioting over a parking lot, and they beat up some woman for sitting on the front of the bus. It's not Chabadniks doing that. Chabadniks are farbrengening and, waiting for the Rebbe to rise up from the dead. That's, what it is. And Chabadniks are, in my mind, really modern Orthodox Chassidim. They're almost the model Chassidim, because they, a lot of them do regular jobs, and they have regular lives, and they're actually bringing, Judaism to all the corners of the earth, and they're really bringing Judaism to the mundane places. I mean, to me, the founding of Chassidism, the whole point of Chassidic movement is to say that you don't have to sit in the Beis Medrash all day. You can go out and work as an accountant and bring spirituality to everything you do. I mean, for me, I take a bike ride today, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, oh, Baruch Hashem, there's so much beauty around me, and I always feel like a chassid when I daven in the woods, and that sort of thing. And I think Chassidism nowadays has become this just so strict and so overbearingly strict, fervent, unopen religious movement. And Chabad, despite the love and the hate relationship that most people have, because most people have a love and hate relationship. People love them when they're stuck in the middle of nowhere, but when they're by themselves, they're talking crap about them. That's kind of how it is. That's unfortunate that they're used so much. It's like a hotel. It's like, oh, we'll go use Chabad, and then we'll talk, bad about them behind their back. But, they're not regular Chassidim. Despite people saying, oh, we're Chassidim, we're Chassidim, we're Chassidim, they're not Chassidim. The women have so much freedom, too much freedom to be Chassidim. They're like the part directors of the Chabad houses. They allow them to learn Gemara. They allow them to drive. They don't shave their heads. They wear red. They wear denim. They don't wear stockings necessarily. They walk on the same side of the street as other Chabad men. Really, though, the Chabad look is not chassidish. And if you really want to get into it, we can really blame the Rebbe's mother-in-law. If she would have given him the spudik, if she would have given him the Frierdiker Rebbe's spudik, all would be solved. Because really with Chassidim, it's a look, right? I mean, there's like 200 sects, but in the end, you got a Pashka Beaver, you got a spudik, you got a Shreimelach, whatever you have, you're all lumped in. But the Chabadniks, they wear bend-down hats. I mean, that's completely separatist from Chassidim. They make fun of the bend-down hats. Not only do Chabad wear bend-down hats, they bend their brims all the way the heck down. And not only that, they got them crunched up, and they do that whole, they take like a $200 Barcelino, and they do that Chabad triangle situation. It's craziness, man. So they're not Chassidim. They're basically, they're a cross between Yeshivish and Modern Orthodox. They got a lot of, stuff going on. They have Shitas that are Chassidic. They have Chassidic Shitas, but their style, their lavush, and the way about them is not chassidishe. It's not this overbearing. Of course, within Chabad, it's different. You have the Yichus, you have Geshe, you have the Yechids versus the non-Yechids. You have the people at the top are all arguing with each other. But I mean, Jews are arguing. They're always going to argue about something. If they're not going to argue about if the Rebbe is dead or not, they're going to argue if the Mechitza is too high, or they're going to argue if Triangle K is good hechsher or not. Everyone's going to argue about something. Unfortunately, Chabad got themselves stuck in this. They have so much publicity from this. People hate them. People are jealous anyway. People are just jealous. I would be jealous too. I mean, if I was 40 years late into the Kiruv thing, I'd be pretty jealous. Especially when I sent my guy to campus and he couldn't really strum up anyone, and you look at the Chabad guy and he's chilling and it's all good. And I'll give you a story. I was talking to a Kiruv guy the other day, and he was saying how he doesn't want to lose money on his lunches. I'm thinking, that's like the opposite attitude of Chabad. Chabad would be like, it doesn't even have to do with money. If you're going to have a lunch, you're going to have a learning class, you don't even think about, I can't lose money on the lunches. Not even a Havamina. Really isn't. So, Chassidic, but not Chassidishe.